In the United States, approximately 97.5 million people aged 12 or older abused prescription pain relievers in 2015, which represented more than 1/3 of the population aged 12 or older. Among the 97.5 million past year abusers of prescription pain relievers, 5.7 million were youths, 12.1 million were young adults, and 79.7 million were adults aged 26 or older. In South Dakota, 3.5% of adolescents use prescription pain medication. One of the most common ways that people who misuse prescription pain relievers obtain the drugs is from a friend or relative. The second most common source is that people get the drugs from a doctor. An estimated 34.7% of the population aged 12 or older use prescription pain medication in large metropolitan areas. 38.6% of those in small metropolitan areas and 38.5% of those in non-metropolitan areas use prescription pain relievers in the past year. The percentages of people aged 12 or older who use prescription pain relievers in the past year range from 22% of non-Hispanic Asians to 44.8% of non-Hispanic people who reported 2 or more races. Females were more likely than males to have used prescription pain relievers, which is 38.8%. People who use the drugs often, they use it to relieve physical pain, relax or relieve tension, help with sleep, cope with their feelings or emotions. They can use it to experiment or to see what the drug was like. They use it to feel good or get a high, and they use it to increase or decrease the effects of some other drug. And they have also used it because they were hooked or needed to have it. Long-term pain prescriptions can lead to the addiction of this drug. Antidepressants and anti-seizure medication can cause nausea, dizziness, or drowsiness. Long-term use of opioids may lead to a dependence on the medication and eventually addiction. The longer you use opioids, the greater the risk of becoming addicted, but even using opioids to manage pain for more than a few days can increase your risk of addiction. The schedule for prescription pain medication, such as opioids, is scheduled because opioids can be addictive, so they need to be carefully monitored. Public Law 115-271 in October 2018 is a bipartisan effort to address the country's opioid and substance misuse epidemic. The law includes critical provisions to standardize the delivery of addiction medicine, expand access to high-quality, evidence-based care, and address the impacts of the epidemic by increasing and strengthening our workforce. There is no law in South Dakota that regulates opioid prescribing. The Public Law 115-271 is a law that provides support for people who are addicted to opioids and treatment options. Some penalties for unauthorized possession of a controlled substance include up to 1 year's imprisonment and or a $5,000 fine for the first offense. In South Dakota, no one can manufacture, distribute, or dispense a substance listed in Schedules 1 or 2. Possession of opioids with intent to manufacture, distribute, or dispense the substance, and they cannot create a counterfeit substance. It will lead to a violation of this section, which is a Class 4 felony. Opioid overdoses may also be non-fatal, but these non-fatal opioid overdoses can place significant burdens on governments, health systems, communities, and families, and may disproportionately affect rural and undeserved areas. The use of prescription opioids causes damaging effects on family dynamics, which may lead to abuse or an increased risk in PTSD and anxiety. Rural communities may have a resource shortage or limited economic opportunities that can negatively impact healthcare services and health outcomes because of misuse of prescription pain medication. One criminal activity associated with prescription pain medication is illegal dispense. Prescription opioid pain reliever overdoses are higher in states with greater retail sales volume of this prescription drug. Overdoses range from a low of 5.5 per 100,000 residents in Nebraska to 27 per 100,000 residents in New Mexico and South Florida, which is viewed as the epicenter for prescription opioid misuse, and it has attributed in large part to the prevalence of pain management clinics, a fair share of which dispense prescription medications inappropriately.